Our project is Virtual 15 Puzzle Game, and our team consists of Tan, Antero, Caleb, and Diane. Picture a digital recreation of the classic 15 puzzle. In this game, players get to test their problem-solving skills by rearranging number tiles to solve the puzzle and put them back in the right order, combining both challenge and enjoyment. We want to create a digital puzzle game that's both mentally stimulating and relaxing. You know the classic 15 puzzle, right? Well, we're making it super easy for you to enjoy it digitally. It's all about providing a convenient and entertaining way for puzzle lovers of all ages to exercise their minds and relax. We're here to meet the demand for accessible and engaging mental challenges. Our goal: we're going to create a digital platform for the 15 puzzle game, and we want it to be super easy and enjoyable to use. We'll make sure you can solve the puzzle and keep track of your moves. Plus, we're going to make it engaging with a user-friendly interface, various backgrounds to choose from, and even options to customize your puzzles. It's all about making your experience fun and personalized.
Welcome to our group's 15 puzzle game. My name is Ton and I'll be giving you a live demonstration of our project. So when you first load up our game, you'll be greeted with a 4x4 grid with the empty square and you'll be giving a random background. If I refresh the page, you'll see that you'll always be given a random background. So let's go ahead and test it out. And as you can see, we're getting random backgrounds when we refresh the page. And we do have four backgrounds. The first background is the fish, second background is a wave, third background is a portrait, and the fourth background is a cheetah. If you feel like you want to change the grid size to an easier or harder size, you can go ahead and do that on the left side. We have three buttons you can choose from. So there's a 8 piece size, 24 puzzle size, 35 puzzle size. I'll be focusing on the 15 puzzles since that's the main way to play the game. Um, and also for this time's sake of this demonstration, I won't be solving the puzzle fully, but I will show you how it looks like when you do play the game. So once you're ready to play the game, you can go ahead and click shuffle, and then it'll shuffle those pieces around. And the way to play the game is you want to order the cells from the lowest to highest numbers, top to bottom, and then in the bottom right there should be an empty cell. And then to start the game, you can see how if you hover over the squares that are next to the empty square, that they highlight red and the text changes to green. This means that you can click on these squares and they will move into that empty space. So let's go ahead and do that. You see how they're moving around. If I try to click on a tile that isn't next to the empty square, you see that they don't highlight, and I also can't click on them at all. And if you feel like the game is a bit too challenging for you, there is like a cheat option at the very bottom that you can click on. It will automatically solve the puzzle for you. But if you do happen to solve the game without cheating, you will get a win notification and how many moves it took you to win. I'll show you how that looks like on this tab. You see we're about 2 moves away from winning. So if I move 11 to the left and move 12 to the top, you see that I get notified that I win. And it took me about 4 moves to beat the puzzle. And I can hit restart to play again. So that's pretty much our game. It's a quick, fun, and easy way to play the 15 puzzle game while having features that make the user experience enjoyable and pretty engaging. So thank you. The checks valid cell function is designed to see if a cell is valid in the grid of the game. So basically it takes an event parameter, which is the click that the user sends, and the function gets the ID of the cell. The function then iterates through the game state array to find the position of the cell with the specific ID. Once the cell is found, the function checks if any adjacent cells to the cell the user clicked on is next to the empty cell. If it is next to the empty cell, the function returns a true, meaning the cell is indeed valid. If the cell is not adjacent to an empty cell, the function returns a false statement, meaning the cell isn't valid. And in this case, to the right, if we run the function check valid cell, if it returns a true statement, it means it is indeed next to an empty cell. So add a class movable piece to the ID of the cell, and then this would highlight the cell with the red border and also change the number text to green. So the way the when notification works in our game is that it first checks to see if the last cell in the grid is empty. If it isn't empty, that means the game is not won yet by the player. Then it uses nested loops to verify that each tile is in an ascending order. If any tiles are not in this order, the function signals that the game isn't won yet. But if the loop completes without any issues, this means that the tiles are correctly arranged and the function returns a true statement, meaning that the player has won the game.
This code is designed to enhance the user experience by providing the option to choose different backgrounds. In the HTML section, a label and drop-down menu are created, allowing users to select from a variety of background options. The JavaScript file handles the dynamic behavior of this feature. At the core of this functionality is the update background function, which listens for changes in the background selection dropdown. When a new background is chosen, this function updates the background images of the puzzle cells based on the user selection. The selection background URL is applied to all puzzle cells except the empty cell, which is cell 16, to maintain the puzzle's integrity. To add an element of surprise and variety, the code includes a getRandom background function. This function selects a random background from a predefined array of backgrounds when the page is initially loaded. This ensures that the users see a different background each time they visit the game, making the experience more engaging.
So for the cheat button, the way it works in our game is when it is clicked, the game state, which represents the arrangement of the number of tiles in the puzzle, it is set to a predefined solve state. The puzzle cells are then initialized to reset uh, back, and then we call update background to make sure it updates the correct background the user is playing with.
One of the added challenges that our group chose for this project was to change the puzzle sizes. The reason we decided to choose this is because we wanted to increase the playability of the game and give more users more of a challenge. The more tiles there are that you have to move around, the harder it's going to be to solve the puzzle, and vice versa. The less tiles that there are to move around, it can still become even harder to move the puzzles because it would be hard to move certain tiles to certain positions because you don't have as much space to work around them. On this slide right here, we can see the changes that were needed to be made to each CSS file. The way we structured each change in the puzzle size was each different puzzle size would need to have its own set of HTML, JavaScript, and CSS documents so that the game would work properly. And one of the main reasons for this was because the way we set up our game board, our game container, was that each cell was hard-coded so that the actual background that was another feature we added where you can change the background. The background would not look funky. It would fit properly in the cells and move properly with each cell. So we had to break apart the background, hard-coded it between each cell to determine which cell had which chip at the background so everything worked perfectly and the image moved fluidly as you played the game. The other big key feature that had to be changed on the CSS side of things was that depending on the size of the game board, we would need to change the size of the game container just so that everything fit fluidly and looked good on the web page. So for the 6x6, it had to get changed to a 450 by 450 width and height pixel, whereas the game container for the 5x5 was more like 400 by 400. Just something that needed to get changed on the CSS side. Now, looking at the JavaScript side of the changing of the puzzle sizes, the big key thing that needed to get changed was the actual game state that defined how the game was going to work from the get-go. when the original 4x4, when it was originally coded, we set the game state to just a 4x4 grid. But because of having the different puzzle sizes, this is where we had to create the different JavaScript files for each different size so that we could hard code these different size game states so that the game didn't bug out. For the 3x3, obviously, you have 3 rows with 3 columns each. Same for the 5x5 and same for the 6x6, depending on the size. So the game state itself would have to be changed for each different JavaScript file so that the game worked properly. The other big thing that needed to get changed in JavaScript side was the create cell element function. This would create the individual cells that then would work for the game and have all of the implementation for how the game worked. And if that number in that function was not created properly or not changed to the right number, then the correct amount of cells would not be made and the game would not work. This was a bug I encountered early on when I first started messing around with it. It's a number I didn't realize what was going on. It was originally set to 16. I was trying to work on the 36 and only 16 of the tiles worked. Then I figured out where the problem was. We went and changed it. Now all 3 extra puzzle sizes work. The other thing that needed to get changed that we realized on was also the solve/cheat function we added in so that, if the user is having a hard time, they can click on this function and reshuffle it back to the original picture to solve the puzzle. And if the game state was not set to the correct amount of tiles, and that function would not work either. So we would also have to change the game state that's defined in that function so that that function works properly and that the user can cheat to their heart's content.
Here are some benefits of implementing DevOps. It offers faster delivery, improved collaboration, enhanced quality, increased efficiency, scalability, better reliability, cost savings, customer satisfaction, adaptability, risk mitigation, and continuous improvement. Here are some simple guidelines for DevOps that we implement. Collaboration. Encourage close collaboration between development, operations, and other stakeholders involved in the software lifecycle. Communication is key to align goals and work effectively together. Automation. Use automation tools whenever possible to reduce manual work and streamline processes. Automation helps in building, testing, and deploying software reliably and consistently. Continuous integration. Developers frequently integrate their code chains into a shared repository. This allows early detection of issues and helps in maintaining a consistency code base. Continuous deployment. Once code chains pass through CI, CD automates the deployment process, ensuring new code can be quickly and safely released into production environments. Monitoring and feedback. Implement monitoring tools to track performance, detect issues, and gather feedback from users. This feedback loop helps in continuous improvement of both software and processes. Infrastructure as code. Manage and provision infrastructure through code, enabling easier scaling, consistency, and reproducibility. Security integration. Embed security practice into every stage of the software development lifecycle to identify and mitigate potential vulnerabilities early on. DevOps isn't just about tools, it's a culture shift that emphasizes collaboration, automation, and focus on delivering high quality software efficiently.
Conclusion. Throughout the development of our Digital 15 puzzle game, we focused on creating an engaging and challenging experience for players. We've also introduced a feature that empowers users to personalize their gaming experience by selecting from a variety of predefined backgrounds. To enhance user interaction, we added dynamic background randomization, ensuring that players stay engaged. We have provided the ability for the user to customize the puzzle size to suit their preferences. We've successfully implemented the DevOps deployment methodology, including daily Kanban meetings, to ensure efficient project management and resource allocation. In terms of achievements, we've successfully created an interactive 15 puzzle game that players find both enjoyable and intuitive to use, with the added feature of customizable puzzle sizes. Our implementation of user-friendly background selection has made the game more accessible and appealing. We've improved engagement by introducing dynamic backgrounds that adapt to the user's preferences, enhancing overall user satisfaction. Looking ahead, we're committed to ongoing improvements to our game's features to keep players engaged and entertained. Our primary focus will be on enhancing the user experience, making sure every interaction with our game is enjoyable and seamless. We're also planning to expand the range of background options, giving users even more choices to customize their gaming environment. Furthermore, we're considering the integration of multiplayer mode in the future to add an extra layer of excitement and interaction to the game. Lastly, we will continue to leverage the advantages of the Kanban methodology, which has played a crucial role in our project's success.